Hi everyone, I'm Jeff Miracola, fantasy artist and illustrator, and welcome to my Muddy Colors art tip of the month. When you want to paint the background in your painting without disturbing your main subject or another object in your artwork that you don't want to get paint onto, then there are a number of ways that you can go about that, including cutting out a stencil or using painter's tape to block off that subject. Now those can both be very useful methods, especially if you don't have a lot of complex shapes to cut out. But art masking fluid is a time saver, and if you've got really complex or small areas that you need to cover up, this stuff is perfect because you brush it on. And once it's dry, you can then paint over it as if it isn't there. Now when it comes time to remove the art masking fluid, this can easily be done using a rubber cement pickup or your hand. Okay, so here are a few tips when using art masking fluid. Don't leave the art masking fluid on any longer than necessary. Now, I've left masking fluid on my painting for a few weeks and haven't had a problem removing it. However, you should remove it as soon as you possibly can. Now, the reason for that is because you don't want the paint on top of the masking fluid and next to it to bind together. Because once you start peeling off the art masking fluid, then you might peel up some paint that you don't intend to. Use the proper painting surface. I don't suggest you try using art masking fluid on heavily textured surfaces such as canvas, because the liquid will get into all the little fibers and it'll be difficult to remove. Stick to smoother surfaces like illustration board, durable paper, wood, masonite, and other forms of hardboard. Don't use your favorite or expensive brushes. No matter how hard you try to keep your brush clean, the art masking fluid is probably going to ruin it. There's just no good way around it. So it's best to have a supply of old brushes or cheap brushes lying around that you can use to apply your art masking fluid. Apply the art masking fluid liberally. If you apply the art masking fluid too thinly, it's actually harder to remove. So I have found that laying the masking fluid on thickly is the best way to use it. So if that means that you have to apply multiple coats, then do it. Just make sure that that first layer dries thoroughly before you apply the next layer. All right, one final thing, because I know someone out there is probably going to ask me this. Now, I have only ever used art masking fluid with acrylic paints. I have not yet had the chance to experiment using oil paints on top of the art masking fluid. So if you do that, be cautious and experiment on a test painting first. All right, don't say Jeff didn't warn you. Thanks for watching. Bye.